Hello, my name is Matthew Shapero and I'm your UC Cooperative Extension Livestock and Range Advisor serving Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. I'll be reviewing Workshop 8, Mapping Ranch Facilities. This worksheet is part of the Ranch Water Quality Plan template. It's a prompt to remind you both to secure a map and to document that important ranch features have been placed on that map. And let me share with you that this part of the ranch planning process is, for many ranchers and ranch managers, their favorite part of the ranch planning process. Many have described it as being fun, and I hope you'll find it that way too. By now, you should be familiar with the format of the ranch plan worksheet. Worksheet 8 looks like this, and is really just a few short questions to document what type of map you're using and the information that you've documented on the map. For more background information, you might find this online fact sheet to be particularly useful. On it, you'll find descriptions of different map types and places that you can purchase or download them for access. Examples of map types include topographic maps, which are useful because they include elevation and landscape terrain. Aerial photographs, which make good base maps because of the level of detail. And soil maps, which include soil map units, which might be useful for you in ranch management and operations. Good sources for maps include the offices of the Natural Resource Conservation Service, or NRCS, and your local Resource Conservation District, or RCD. Especially if you've previously participated in a conservation practice, for example, like the Environmental Quality Incentive Program, or EQIP, these offices will likely already have a map of your ranch available for your use. In the earlier pasture inventory presentation in Worksheet 3, we discussed how to access sources of soil information and maps. These again are linked at the top of this worksheet and include the University of California Soil Web, hosted by UC Davis, and the USDA NRCS Web Soil Survey. Briefly, I'm going to go through both of these resources and use a property from Marin County as an example that we'll use for the remainder of this presentation. So here we have the UC Soil Web opening page. As you'll remember from the pasture inventory presentation, this is what you first encounter when you navigate to that website. You're going to want to read this welcoming message and click OK to get to the map. And if you navigate over here to the upper left-hand corner and press Menu, you'll be able to zoom to location to access your individual ranch. Again, we're going to be using a ranch in Marin County, so I'll put that information in here. Walker Creek Ranch, I'll say Marin County. And I've been quickly transported to more or less my area of interest, which includes this area here. So pretty easily you're able to navigate quite quickly both to an aerial image and with soil map units on top of that aerial image. You'll then be able to print or download this picture that you can use for further mapping efforts. So that's the soil web. The next resource we'll look at is the USDA NRCS Web Soil Survey. So this is the opening page for the NRCS USDA Web Soil Survey. To begin, you're going to want to navigate your cursor and press this button, Start WSS, which will open up a new window in your browser. Here you have the image of the United States, and you're going to want to navigate over here, and you need to establish an area of interest, which is essentially going to be the boundaries of your ranch. Today we're going to use this quick navigation tool and go to Address, although there are other ways that you can import that area of interest. The Web Soil Survey does require that you put in a slightly more specific address than just the general location of the ranch. So I'm going to put in the actual address of Walker Creek Ranch, which is 1700 Marshall Petaluma Road. I'll say Marin. And then you press View. And here we are, pretty well situated at Walker Creek Ranch. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And this is more or less the area of interest that we're interested in. Now, to be able to get the soil information, you do have to establish that area of interest. And you can do that either with a rectangular box where my cursor is now, or with a more free-form polygon. I'm going to choose the freeform polygon and start clicking the rough boundaries of Walker Creek Ranch. You on your ranch are going to want to be a little more precise to get the actual boundaries so that you get all of the soil information that you're interested in. I'll double click to finish the polygon. The web soil survey creates my area of interest, and I should now be able to navigate over to this tab here, Soil Map. And after loading, the web soil survey will show you those soil map units on the map overlaid over the aerial imagery, and then over here to the left, the different kinds of soil that you have on your ranch. You can then download this map or print it to then add further ranch characteristics to complete the rest of this worksheet. So we've reviewed here the first two links at the top of the worksheet. Again, that was the soil web and the web soil survey. Two other resources that you may choose to use are from Google. The first is a website you can use called Google Earth, or a software program that you may choose to download called Google Earth Pro, which has a lot more features than just the website version in Google Earth. So we'll look at Google Earth Pro now. If you choose to use Google Earth Pro, this is what the screen will look like when you first download and open the software. Like the other resources we just reviewed, you can pretty easily navigate to your ranch by using this search bar. Here, I'll start to begin to write Walker Creek, Marin, and there it shows me where I want to go. I press search, and the map will automatically zoom in to my ranch that I'm interested in analyzing. This is Walker Creek here. The ranch that we're interested in, I'm outlining with my hand right now. So to be able to zoom in a little bit more, you can use this hand and click and drag to pan across the map. And then you can use these buttons here to navigate both zoom in and zoom out. And you can also use this here to pan across the map rather than dragging with your hand. An added benefit of using Google Earth Pro is that you have a few more features that you don't have with those other resources, specifically the ability, and if you follow my cursor, to add a point, a polygon, or a line to the map itself. This will become useful as we begin to work through Worksheet 8, because you can actually build a lot of your ranch features into the map digitally as you work through the worksheet. Some important other information to take note of is that down here at the bottom, we actually have the date that the image was taken, which will be useful for Worksheet 8 as well. So here is September 2018. And another neat feature of Google Earth Pro is this ability to actually sort of toggle from a bird's eye view to more of a landscape perspective. So you'll see my eye is sort of going lower along the horizon. And so if I zoom back in to my ranch here, you get a much better sense of the terrain and topography of the ranch, which might be useful for you as you begin to do more of the mapping features. You can then again either download or print this map to use for your permanent records or as we work through the remainder of Worksheet 8. Once you have your maps from any of these sources, sit down with your map and with Worksheet 8, and let's begin to work through the worksheet and to see how it works. So here we are back at Worksheet 8, and we're going to use a Google Earth Pro map to help us fill out the remainder of this worksheet. The first question that the worksheet asks is, what kind of map is this that we're using? Google Earth uses aerial photographs, so we'll click that box for aerial photographs, and we'll put in the date that the imagery was taken. If you'll remember, that's September 2018. The next question on the worksheet is about scale, which any good map should have a scale. You'll see at the end of this presentation a completed Google Earth Pro map, which does have a scale, and I know, and I'll put down here that that scale is 1 inch for 1,800 feet. The next part of the worksheet is really a checklist to remind you to go through and mark the following ranch features on your map. So let's now go and look at some ranch features that you might consider putting on your ranch map. Things like property lines, barns, holding areas, roads, and gates should all be identified on your ranch map. Also, make sure to identify pastures and fences and gates, including exclusion areas, for example, along a riparian corridor. It's also important to refer to your documentation in Worksheets 6 and 7, completed and future water quality projects, and mark their locations on your map. This can be a location like this image, an eroding stream bank, which will qualify for a future water quality project. Or after this particular stream bank has been planted and perhaps fenced, and this would qualify as a completed project. Water troughs, tanks, spring developments, and pipelines are all also useful to locate on the map. Next, I want to show you what a completed Google Earth Pro map could look like with many of the ranch features that you might want to be adding to your own map. From the Google Earth software, you can download a map that looks like this. And here again, we are at our Walker Creek site. And I've used those tools at the top of the toolbar on Google Earth Pro to put in these features. You'll see in red the fence lines, in black the APN or ranch boundary lines. And then I have different points here that represent stock troughs, places where I monitor on an annual basis for RDM. I've also added future stream bank restoration sites and indicated where the headquarters or the barn area is for the ranch, and then also where the working corrals are as well. Let's go back to the worksheet and make sure that we can indicate on the worksheet the things that we've added to our map. So here we are back at our worksheet, and we'll fill in the boxes according to the features that we included on our Google Earth Pro map. So again, we included property lines for each APN. We showed where the barns were and the holding areas and corrals. We did not have ranch roads, but that should be something you would have. We did fence lines, so I'll click that. We talked about future and past water quality projects. Monitoring points I included for RDM. We also had some stock troughs in there. And I did not indicate, but you could, supplemental minerals and salt blocks and or other leased pastures or rangeland on your ranch or adjacent. And there is also space for other features unique to your ranch that you may want to document. These could include gas wells, wind turbines, gravel pits, or even other important features on neighboring lands. Down here at the bottom, there are 4 final questions that are a general assessment of the watershed. The first question is, what type of stream or streams are on your farm or ranch? These could include seasonal, perennial, or both. In our case, at Walker Creek, we had a perennial stream in the form of Walker Creek itself. The next question I just answered, it's the name of the stream on the ranch, so I'll put Walker Creek. The third question is, what is the name of the creek, river, water body, or wetland that's downstream of our ranch or downstream of Walker Creek? In this particular case, it's Tamales Bay. And finally, it asks if there's a municipal or domestic water supply source downstream. In this case, the answer is no. We've now completed Worksheet 8. In many ways, the ranch map and the planning effort that surrounds it is the most useful part of the ranch plan. It can be used to document previous ranch activities, future tasks that you'd like to accomplish, and can also be useful in conversations with family members or other outside agencies as you encounter them in the future. By securing a map and using Worksheet 8 and making notes about ranch features on both, you will complete your ranch map and your ranch plan. Congratulations on your map and your ranch plan, and thank you for your time.
You can find more informative presentations covering ranch water quality topics on the UC Rangelands website, and look for the Water Quality Information Hub or direct your web browser to the URL shown on this slide.